Hi everybody. Today we're going to do lesson 43 in our pink book. Let me go ahead and pull up that text for us. Alright, so we're going to start with a little bit of word work. Now remember, for this section, the first and last sounds are the same, but the middle part with a vowel is what's going to change. For column 1, read the words to yourself. Now let's read them together. Limp, lamp. Column B, read the words to yourself. Punch, pouch. Column C, read the words to yourself. Toil, tail. Column D, read the words to yourself. Truck, trunk. Nice job. Section 2. Please say the sound that the underlined letters make. First word, S, dance. Remember, the C makes an S sound if it's followed by E or I. Next word, S, place. Ch, chill. A, saints. Ch, chest. S, Pacific. S, decide. Finger. S, officer. S, chance. S, twice. Now let's read the words. Dance, place, chill, saints, chest, Pacific, decide, finger, officer, chance, twice. Moving on to section 3. Let's read the first word, and then it's going to make the word into a compound word by adding a second part. First word, bed, bedroom. Out, outside. Down, downstairs. Now for section 4. First word, uniforms. Say it. Spell uniforms. U-N-I-F-O-R-M-S. Uniforms. Next word, pictures. Spell pictures. P-I-C-T-U-R-E-S. Pictures. Next word, clothes. Say it. Spell clothes. C-L-O-S-E. Clothes. Let's start over and read all of the words. Uniforms, pictures, clothes, knock, kidding, limp, metal, covered, brass, ashamed, magnifying, dead, yeah, ah, code, treasure, younger. Nice job. Let's start our story, The Captain's Chest. Remember last time there was Tony and Rosa, these two kids that lived down the street from a man named Old Salt. Old Salt was a retired sailor, and he had just received a trunk from his dead captain that Tony said he was interested in. Let's go ahead and read this story. A truck was parked in front of Old Salt's house. Salt was holding the door open for the two workers who were carrying a big trunk into the house. Tony had asked if they could look at the stuff in the trunk. Salt stared at Tony. He was trying to see if Tony was going to make fun of him. Tony said, "I'm not kidding, Salt. I'd really like to see what's in it." Salt turned away. Without looking at Tony, he said, "Come around. Come around sometime, and we'll see what we'll see." Rosa yelled, "Yeah, Salt, maybe it's a treasure." "Knock it off," Tony said. "Don't make fun of him all the time." That stuff gets old after a while. Does Tony seem serious about wanting to see what's inside the chest? Yes, he does, and he even defends him by telling Rosa to stop making fun of him. Rosa doesn't seem quite as interested. After school, Tony said to Rosa, "Hey, let's go over to Old Salt's place and see what's in that trunk." Rosa shook her head. "No, I don't think so." Then she shrugged. "Well, why not? Let's go." So they went to Old Salt's place. They knocked on the door. They could hear Salt walking to the door. He walked with a limp. He opened the door. He stared at them. "Come to make fun of my captain, have you? Well, let me tell you, me you can make fun of, but there won't be a word of fun made about my captain." Tony said, "We won't make fun, Salt. We just want to see what's in the trunk." When did Tony and Rosa go back to Old Salt's place? Yep, they went after school. Was Rosa very interested in going? No, she wasn't. Why did Salt give them a big lecture? Because he thought that they were just going to make fun of his dead captain. "Come with me then," Salt said. Then he led them up the stairs. Then he led them down the hall. There were pictures on the wall. Most of them showed sailors and ships. When Salt came to a door near the end of the hall, he stopped. "My captain's things are in here." Then he opened the door. The trunk was on the floor. It was open. Salt had taken some of the things from the trunk and placed them on the bed. There were a few medals. There was a big brass bell and a ship's clock. There were 2 uniforms, one of them with holes in it. There was a ship's log, and there were stacks of papers. Most of the papers were letters. Name some of the things that were in the trunk. So there were medals, there was a bell, a clock, some uniforms, a ship's log, and some stacks of papers that were mostly letters. One of the things in the chest was a ship's log. What does that mean? A ship's log is actually a record of what happened on the ship. So it would tell the different events of what happened while they were sailing. Next part. Tony looked at the captain's things, and he felt sad. Before he had come up the stairs, he had wanted to see everything in the trunk. But now he felt a little ashamed of even looking at the captain's things. Tony felt as if he were looking at things that he shouldn't see. Tony felt as if he were spying on the dead captain. Rosa went over and hit the bell with her finger. Bong, it sounded. "Ah, that's a good sound," Old Salt said. Rosa picked up a stack of letters. "Why did he save these letters?" she asked. The old man grabbed the letters. "Don't be nosing around those," he snapped. How did Tony feel about looking at the dead captain's things? Yep, it says up here that he felt sad and even a little ashamed, like he was spying on the captain. Salt didn't want Rosa to look at some things. What were they? He didn't want her to be looking at his letters. Next time we'll finish our story and do the workbook page. See you then.